friends, and welcome back to a special battle report from my adventures in Singapore. Sounds very dramatic, doesn't it? So I was lucky enough recently to travel to Singapore, a city I've always wanted to visit, which has a healthy and thriving Kings of War scene by sheer coincidence. I'm not going to pretend it was sheer coincidence, entirely by design. So I forced my wife and child to go to Singapore as part of a family holiday, largely so I could play Kings of War. Yeah, you know. Anyway, Singapore, wonderful place. If you haven't been, by the way, what a lovely city. Very, very nice. 26 degrees all years round. People are beautiful. City's beautiful. Costs you an arm and a leg to do anything. What a wonderful place. Really nice place to visit. And this is a photograph that I took there. I'm not going to do a full holiday photos. However, when I was there, I went to, of course, the Temple of Gaming on Temple Street, which is known as Hammer House. I say, of course, you may not know it exists. However, let me tell you, in the centre of Singapore, there is a lovely little gaming store called Hammer House. It's up some stairs in a kind of this in Chinatown. You walk down this kind of street past this temple, and there's lots of shops, like street stalls, like hawker stalls, stuff like that. And then up these stairs, it's Hammer House, which is full of lovely people, including, wow, there they are. That's me. And that is Page Neo. So you may or may not know who Page Neo is. He is incredibly famous YouTuber and recent victor of Clash of Kings Asia. Something he rarely mentions. And he is, of course, the only. It's his channel. It's what I want to say. He's an influencer. He's a terribly important influencer. So he has his YouTube channel. He's a YouTuber. I've known Paige for a long time. He has beaten the snot out of me online. And he is a fantastically good player of the game. So it was a great opportunity to meet him and play him. Big shout out to General Gaddafi, Mohammed Gaddafi, who is very, very generous with his time and knowledge, and was an able guide around Singapore. Thank you so much. And to everyone else at Hammer House Games who was so generous in welcoming me, and we went out for dinner and had drinks, and we had a fantastic time. So I think it's just a really, really nice store. It's absolutely packed with stuff, and they're extremely generous with their time and expertise. So yeah, it was really great. And to, of course, to Alex, who owns the store, a big thank you to him as well, because he was great. Anyway, enough effusing and gushing over the wonderful we've been in Singapore. Of course, Paige and I played a game. I didn't bring an army with me. That's a little bit tough for international travel at that distance, when you're on a family holiday particularly. But Alex very kindly lent me his Undead list. So this is Alex's, at this time, unbeaten Undead list. Let's see if I can ruin that streak. A very nice army, which you'll see shortly, and this is how it was. It's not my typical kind of style of Undead. It's a noble Undead list, which I've never played before. But it has 2 regiments of zombies, 2 regiments of revenants, which I've always liked a horde of revenant for the -24, but as Alex pointed out, defense 5-17 is not to be sniffed at. 2 troops of mummies. Less convinced about these, but I mean, -14 is great though, for chaff, isn't it? Regenning chaff as well, but yeah, -14. 2 troops of mummies, 2 hordes of zombie trolls, which I definitely do like. I'm a big fan of zombie trolls. 3 regiments of whites. This is becoming the Undead meta, by the way. Multiple white regiments. They're very, very good. So maneuverable and surgeable over -14. No. Jarvis, of course, because to be noble Undead, you have to take Jarvis. And he has got Bane Chant 2, Heal 3, Lightning Bolt 3, and Surge 8. All of his spells have an extra 3 inches, I want to say, on them. And can he cast multiple spells? He's got 2 special rules there, hasn't he? Let's have a look. I did play I probably, whatever the rule is, I didn't play it. So I'm probably just Aphelion Book of Secrets, right, is 6 inches added to the range of his Bane Chant, Heal, Lightning Bolt, and Surge. Okay? And the Noble Dead, that just means that he turns the army noble. Right, turns the army good, and no one else can't play with any other heroes. Of course, I'm so silly. I knew that. There's a Lich King. The Lich King has Crown of the Wizard King, which is again extra range on his spells with heal and surge. So now we've got a lot of very long range surge. We've got a necromancer who is the aura, has the aura of vicious, just really for those zombie trolls. I suppose the zombies as well. Inspiring talisman and drain life 4. So really just a cheap ASB, I think, with drain life, if you're going to ask me. And then double vampire and undead pegasus, which are great little mini dragons. One with a staying stone to make it 15, 16, and one with a chalice of wrath to give it fury. So a very nice multi-purpose list. Lots of very, seemingly fragile, but realistically not that fragile units. A lot of defense 5 across the list. All fearless nerve, of course, apart from the vampires. And Jarvis, of course. 16 units is a lot, which is what you get with an MSU list like this, and 26 unit strength. So that's the list I was going to pilot. And this was Paige's Goblin list. I don't know if this is the Goblin list he won Clash of Kings with over in Asia or not. I'm not sure. Maybe he can tell us. But you can, I'm sure, at some point watch his battle report of this game, which he's, I'm sure, going to put up, right? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm not worth it. So he's got a regiment and a horde of rabble. And then 4 hordes of sharp sticks, which is a lot of sharp sticks. So if you're running a cavalry army, you are screwed. A mincer mob with sharpness, which is very, very nasty. D6 plus 21 attacks on 3s. Ouch. Double war trombone, triple sharp stick thrower, and triple wing it with the bombs away upgrade. So they are both mobile shooting platforms, and each of them can give eye in the sky for the sharp stick throwers. To reroll their ones, he's got a king with both the Jareth's Pendant and Groany Snark. So that's both Aura of Headstrong and the mini Winged Flight Suit, which means he can speed 10. If he rolls a 1 when he moves, then he blows up or something. Does D6 damage himself, something like that. Flag it with the loot. So that Aura of Stride is very useful, along with the Bane Chant. Double Whiz. These are very, very tooled up wizards. So one's got Conjure Staff to reroll 1s on basic spells. Not Hex, though. Rerolls on his Lightning Bolt, I believe. Maybe it is on Hex. Maybe I'm wrong. You can tell me in the comments. Lightning Bolt and Hex. And then a second one who has Piercing Arrow. I didn't think Piercing Arrow worked, but it just says ranged attack. So Piercing Arrow is reroll 1 miss on your shooting. One wound? Yeah, 1 wound on your shooting. It's pretty good. Knowledgeable, so that the Wiz can have Alchemist Curse 2 and Lightning Bolt 3. So pretty nice. Alchemist Curse very good for high defense. I've got a lot of high defense, so yeah, not bad. He's got Magua and Juice, who's the weird duelist individual character with Lightning Bolt 4. So actually kind of a bit more punchy than a light, but forms part of the Lightning Bolt battery, I guess. And a King on Chariot with a short bow. So the list is it's an obvious trick list. Not trick, I'm being unkind. It's a lot of chaff. There's a single hammer, which is the mince mob, and then it's just nibble, right? So it's that kill box list where it wants to get you into its kill box, and then just turn on you with double war trombones, triple wingets, kings, whizzes, and just kind of blast you off, do enormous amounts of damage to you in a single turn, right? That's the list. Do I like it? I think it's not. I'm not sure. Any Goblin list should take a 235 point mincer mob. That's just me. I do like the cavalry. What are they called? More pups. No, not more pups. More pup riders. I'm gonna look it up. More pup riders, whatever they're called. In Goblins, I think they're super fun and super fast. I also like Luggets. So I like a really Fleabag riders, they're called. Very different style, but you can't deny that the list obviously works. It's got a great amount of shooting in it if you can just kind of close you in. So on we crack. This is not the right screenshot. That's from the last game. Haha, I didn't take it out. I could cut this out. Can't be bothered. So this is our battlefield. As you can see, so I said to them, well, do you want to practice on terrain like we're going to have a Clash of Kings, right? So I just grabbed some terrain from their terrain stock, put it out, and he looked at it and went, this terrain is really big. And I'm like, oh, is it? He's like, this terrain is really, it's about 5 times. So I think maybe the Singaporean players have been playing on smaller sets of terrain, but to my eye, this is really typical sizes, what we might have on the UK scene. Maybe I'm giving myself an advantage. I don't know. Anyway, so we had, this is, I believe, rough terrain and rough terrain here. So height, I think we said height 1. It's not important. We didn't recognise what it was. This is a hill in the centre, height 3. This is a height 9 blocking terrain, as is this. And we have height 9 forest, height 9 forest. Oh, there's another rough terrain here. Maybe this is a hill. Who knows? Whatever, it's not important. We had 3 rough terrains, I think. Rough, 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 and 1 hill. Something like that. Yeah. So, we are playing Fool's Gold. So this is where you choose sides and then put tokens on your opponent's side. You have 1 2-point token, 2 1-point tokens, right? And then you have zeros. So I looked at this board. I am obviously on this side. This is my army here. Page immediately pressed it. He was putting tokens right on the center line, which forces me to place tokens deep in his territory. I don't mind that particularly because typically I would go this side. So this is my 2. I believe there's a 1 underneath. There's a 1 here. There's a 1 somewhere else up there. I think because this is Page's tokens. Is this one here? I can't tell. So Page has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are Page's tokens here. So my tokens are, this is a 0, this is a 0, this is a 2, this is a 1, and there's another 1 I think underneath this rabble here. Yeah. So my plan very clearly, and I was pleased that he was deploying his sharpstick throws over here. My plan is to get this bit, right, and hope that this is 1 or this is 1. That's pretty much my plan. And so I deployed a little bit cheekily. I've got a vampire down there and a vampire down here first, which is actually a deployment that I stole from Page. So a vampire at each end to bookend, so he doesn't know which way I'm going. By that point, he's putting things down. He's gone right across the board with everything. I think probably just to give himself space around the terrain, because if you look at blocking and blocking here, that's really only room for 3 hordes to fit across. I'd have been tempted to do some layering personally, but I guess he's gone wide to stop the vampires coming round, right? His sharpstick throws here, I think that's going to give them cover for pretty much the whole game. Maybe he's banking on something sitting on the hill. We'll see if that prediction comes true. This is his king. And then we've got, right, so he has labelled them, but can we zoom in? No. Not in this view. Can we? Whoa, look at that. Amazing. So, yeah. Okay, good. Rabble, right? And then everything else. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sharpstick hordes. This is the Mincer mob. He has got double wizards here with Magua. He's got 3 wingets. Trombone, and Groany Snark is this fella here. Groany Snark's got LEDs in him, by the way, which is very cool. Big fan. So, this is a white, this is a white, and this is a white. Okay, and then we've got zombie, revenant, troll. And these are the mummy troops here. So everything's fearless, so it doesn't really matter. And then hero-wise, you have got the Lich King, Jarvis, and the Necromancer. So I spread my inspiring out. A lot of inspiring in this list, actually. So yeah, I think it's a kind of clear plan. I'm not very worried about this. I think some trolls and whites should take care of that, in which case my 2-point token is secure. And we can start wrapping around. Everything else is just a block here to stop Page coming forwards. See what we can do. Let's get into it. So I lose turn 1, Page takes it, and off he cracks. So it's just a generalized push forward. There's not a lot of shooting he can do at this point. I think the sharp sticks are going to get line of sight down kind of here to maybe to this regiment of whites Yeah, everything else just kind of pushes forward. I was interested, he's keeping this very close. And it's always dangerous to keep your powerful units close behind things. And yeah, he knocked it out the park. So he had 10 wounds to my whites in the first turn from his sharp sticks. Absolutely grotesque. You know, just roll 5s, guys. And 4 wounds to my Vampire and Pegasus on the left-hand side of the board. So really strong start. He didn't roll the requisite 4 to take it off though, which is I've dropped dice. Which would be was extremely lucky, frankly, because I could have lost that white regiment straight off. So in my turn, I decided to ignore all that stuff down there. Nothing matters to me down that side of the board. So I moved my vampire up here. He's looking nice and threatening behind the house. Also positioned. I mean, the wingit can come around. I'm not really that bothered. Don't really care. And then same here. As you can see, line of sight. This is line of sight from Grony here. Line of sight from these guys here. So basically, this vampire is in a very nice position. What I really want him to do is to move this guy up here, and the vampire can just come over here. Let's see. Let's see if we can do that. Everything else just moves forward into cover. I'm going to shoot some healing off at my white, see if I can heal him up. That is a lightning bolt from Jarvis. 1 wound onto Grony Snark. And into turn 2. So, this is the one with the staying stone, by the way, which is why it's got an orange ring around it. So, turn 2, he continues his push forward. So, the wingit does come around here, but Grony Snark has moved into the woods, which is bad because it means that he's got nice lines of sight. It's a smart move. Spears have come forward. They're heading down for this token here. Everything else is pushed forward, so he's kept that very tight line. He has shuffled around with positions here, though. So he wanted to stay. Basically, he's worried about this vampire charging this individual. So he initially had both war trombones flat against this mincer mob, but he shifted this one back to put the standard bearer in, unwittingly giving me a flank. So that was it's a little mistake, which I noticed. But these spears are both on the hill, so looking nice and threatening. Chewing through them is a real pain. And then we've got double wingets here, and Magua just looking to finish off this poor little unit. Let's see how that happens in a general push up here. Is it 1 wound or 10 wounds? It's 1 wound. 1 wound? It's 1 wound. Was it on 10 wounds? I might have misrepresented that. Guys, it was 1 wound. I'm stupid. It was 1 wound on my white, which is much better than 10 wounds, if you think about it. So, yeah. Whoops. Thorough recollection and excellent storytelling on my channel. As always, you're welcome. So, off we crack. Now they're on 10 wounds. You see, I do remember things sometimes. I just remember them in the wrong order. So, 2 wingits and Magua, and probably whichever of those war engines can see, put 9 wounds onto them. So now they're up to 10 wounds. What's worse is who's done that shooting? Maybe that was the war engines and the wingit, and then these guys put wounds here. So war engines wingit did 9 wounds to the whites. And then, geez, what is that? And up to 11, so 7 wounds from these guys onto Vampire. Real strong turn for the old range there. So a kind of normal turn for the first round, and then a really hot spike in the old dice there. So that was very painful. 11 wounds there. And another 2 wounds off of someone. I don't know who that was. Someone that would be away with the other war engine. I couldn't see anything yet. So the Vampire says Toodaloo. And the whites also wander off, I think. So into my turn 2. Oh, they don't. Oh, that's... God, I do remember things. See? Didn't roll a 4 there. He rolled a 3 or something. So he did get rid of one of my vampires, which is extremely painful. And he's pretty mortally wounded those whites, although he didn't get them off this turn. So, what am I going to do? So this is the state of the board. He's got a real indomitable line here. But he's put them in a straight line. So these are all kind of aligned. I think it's better when you've got big hordes like this to try and position them in at least a curve, right? At least an angle, if you can. The reason being that with such small units that I've got, if I can get a single unit in front of these, A, rabble are terrible in combat and unlikely to kill them, and B, they're hidden from line of sight. So everything, if I get a single unit to any of them, the others aren't going to be able to assist. And he's got such a tight line, there's no shuffling to be done. So this Mincer Mob, which is a fearsomely expensive unit, is really in a bad place to be able to join in. So I do that. So the whites down here decide to take on this sharp sticks. I am going to be, you know, phalanxed, right? Which is poor when you're a flying unit, but I'm still hitting on 4s. I'm just buying time for the trolls to get in, really. So here come the trolls. So I've got zombies for next turn. There's Jarvis to support, and the trolls afterwards. Over here, so my vampire takes that flank onto that war trombone. I'm going for a long bomb surge. From either Jarvis and the Lich King. Is that Lich King or is that next? That's the Lich King, yeah. From these mummies into these spears. And I've got my other whites coming up to support, just in case Groany Snark decides to come out this way, right? So I've got some I'm reassuring my back line, as it were. Because I don't want Groany Snark to be dropping himself kind of here. That's a bad place for him to be, and then I can eat it. No. Goblin for breakfast. So the whites that were really badly damaged have gone into these rabble, so they're not taking a hit on their melee, and I've kind of protected myself here. So I've got zombies, don't care about them, and double mummy troops. So one of them is going to get surged. Let's see how far I can surge you, and the answer is all the way. So that was great. So I surged them from the Lich King and from Jarvis. 18 surge. It looks like a 6 or 7, so not a big ask, and we managed to get in. And yes, so you can see the vampire there into the side of the war engine. We ate that for breakfast, nom nom nom, and now he's got a vampire looking in the back of all his units. That is not good. However, nothing is certain with goblins with this much short range shooting. I have got rid of one of his war trombones, but you've got a trombone, wingets, double whiz and magua, right? That's an enormous amount of lightning bolt. Very painful. So we do 6 wounds to the spears over there. It's not bad off of 9 attacks on 4s, is it, huh? Pretty great. 4 wounds from those mummies, which is very lackluster, but they are just doing a job. Right, they're just doing a job. 5 wounds here, again, just doing a job. Holding stuff up. Into turn 3, so you can see he's brought his king around. First thing he does is he decides not to charge my whites. He was just like, I'm just going to move back because I don't want trolls this turn. That's a pretty smart move. He puts them outside of 12. Means I need another turn to get my trolls in. Groany decides to leg it because of the vampire. He needs to shoot him. So everything is turning around to shoot the vampire in the back of his lines. That gives me some grace, so that's fantastic. It was really, the kill box? We talk about the kill box with goblins. This is the kill box. This is classic kill box. Wing it, king, double whiz, magua, war trombone, and just one vampire. Like, lads, hello. He's also, got insurance here from some rabble. So countercharge here, countercharge here. These spears have decided to just stay there. And again, I'm not sure that's the best thing to do. I think here, a turn could have been good. To restrict the amount of units that can go in. Otherwise, I'm going to triple charge you. King comes round, and these guys decide to just stay here on this token, as if it's worth something. Imagine. It's not. It's a 0. Depends. Maybe this one. Why would you not move them forward? Anyway, who am I to judge? So, yeah, we showed you that already. Oh, that's where he changed his mind, didn't he? So there was something happening. Where's the other wing it? At some point, the blue wing it went somewhere. I can't see where it went. And then he changed his mind about where he was going with it, and he brought it back. I think it was no idea where he initially put it. Anyway, he decided no, actually we're gonna just really make sure this vampire dies and give him some wing it as well. So yeah, shoot. Only 8 wounds though, so very poor. It was an enormous amount of shooting, and only got 8 wounds. Some sharp sticks went into the mummies, who they could see because they're sitting on a hill. 2 wounds. Ah, that's sad, isn't it? Isn't it sad when a 13, 15 or 14, 16, something like that, character gets wavered off an 8? I guess rolling a 6 isn't terribly unlikely. But yeah, waver is depressing. Anyway, but you know, now I guess wavered is better than dead, because now he's going to have to put more shooting into him, and he's only on 8 wounds. So something, you know, he's doing a job, just not quite the job he wanted. But those rabble absolutely smashed it. Absolutely smashed it. He rolled an 11 off of the nerve, and I've got no inspiring anywhere near, and off they popped. Yeah, so he managed to kill my mummy troop with some spears. Pretty solid. Unsurprisingly, the countercharge onto those lovely whites did kill them. Only 1 wound, mind you, but it was enough because they only needed 3 to roll them. So just a single wound's all he needed. 5s and 5s. Into my turn 3. So what am I doing? So the zombies can now go in, and I saw an opportunity here because I have got obviously some lovely not looking at me characters. There is a Groany Snark as an individual, but actually whites coming around here is even more of a threat. So to keep him occupied, we put the zombies into the spears, bringing up the trolls. Escape me now. And Jarvis is going to surge these guys. Now, surge 10, this distance is ludicrous. All he's doing is putting them in a place where Groany Snark has to charge. Over here, so we just do all the charges that we've got. So the mummies, I looked at this Goblin King and I thought, that is slightly worrying. However, I think I can manage it. So I sent the mummy troop into these rabble on the edge because his line of sight misses them like this. All I'm offering him is a zombie flank. I don't care about zombies. Right, you do what you want, right? And I've got whites here that if he does come around the back, they can move over and start surging in. So zombies coming in here. Here's my no, yes, this is the necromancer. This is the no. Let's do that zoom thing. Wow, one of them's got a skull for a head. That's definitely the necromancer. Wow, look at that, it's crazy. That's the Lich King, I want to say. Okay, let's assume red is Lich King, because obviously I want to put the Necromancer next to his units that he wants to attack. I mean, give his Vicious to, so that makes sense, wouldn't it? Double Revenants into the Spears. I don't think Revenants, I mean, they're not very good in combat, right? They're only hit on 4s. The Rabble are 4 wounds, so we've got 24 attacks on 4s, so it's going to be 12 hits, defense 4, 6 wounds. Put them up to 10, right? It's not going to kill them. I don't want to kill them, I just want to hold them up. And then he's going to have to choose which to attack. All that matters is this Mincer Mob hasn't gone anywhere because they've got a wayward vampire behind them. So that's that plan there. And the whites are obviously touching the hill so they can just see over. Yeah, there we go. I managed like a 1 inch on Jarvis's surge, which is hilariously bad. I could have faced them that way and gone to the flank of these spears. I just don't care about them enough. So an extra wound there from them. Something like that. Into the rabble. A few more wounds from zombies. Zombies really smashing it. Celebrity shoes! Look at those shoes. Nice to see some Singaporean shoes on the channel. So yeah, zombies did a couple of wounds there, just enough to hold them off. Up to 10, exactly average on the amount of wounds onto those spears. Obviously don't do anything to them, didn't want to. Oh, there you go. I haven't done the hits yet. I was just showing you again. So 4 wounds from that mummy troop is exceptional, isn't it? And then the zombie trolls and the zombies put 13 wounds onto that rebel spears horde, which I think is a good number. Not enough to kill them, but definitely a good number. All right, and then we started revealing tokens. And to my surprise, everything on this side was a 0. So this is pages 0, and this is pages. Oh no, that's my one, isn't it? That's my 0. That's my 0. That's pages 0. Why is there a horde of spears just chilling? I don't understand. Anyway, these things happen. So nothing on that side of the board matters anymore. This one back here is another one of pages 1's. And this is his other 0. So his 2 is right here in the middle. So that's why he put all his stuff here, because that's the most important token to him. That's very convenient for me because, of course, my tokens are over here as well. There's a 2 here. There we go. There's a bigger picture. There we go. There's a 1 and there's a 1. I thought it was over there, but it wasn't. My bad. So I've got 1 here, and a 2 here, right? That's not so great. these 2 tokens are out of my reach still. But I've got this 2 pretty solidly. I've got this 2 pretty solidly. I can maybe put something onto this 1. So yeah, it's kind of mix and match, right? He's got these wingets everywhere, and my flying guys are all dead or dying. So there you go. All to play for. Newbie cracked to my turn 4. Oh, and I took a photo of the crowd watching us, and I said, could you just look disappointed in what Paige is doing to add pressure to him? And they very lovingly obliged, bless them. What was I looking at? Is it my turn 4? Yeah, into Paige's turn 4. So we all having a good time. So Paige's turn 4, what did he do? Well, so he remembered that this unit exists and started to bring it around, which is fine. Countercharge here, obviously. He did not countercharge with the spears. Instead, he just backed up. And the reason he did that was really smart. One was his Goblin King is taking my zombie charge that I've offered him. But the other is the zombie trolls are height 3 and they're on the hill. 3 sharp sticks. Double wing it, right? A lot of attacks coming to my zombies. So that's not great. I believe he countercharged this unit with his spears. He did. Nothing else he can do. He's put his winglet around here, and I think they're also going to shoot. So all 3 wingets and all 3 sharp sticks onto 1 troll unit is not great. Also, probably this as well, water and bone. And then he's charged the rabble he's got into my vampire lord. It's a flank. I get it, but it's hindered. Let's see. I can't remember what happened, so it's exciting. Groany Snark really couldn't ignore these whites, so came into them, didn't roll a 1, hasn't rolled a 1 the entire flipping time, and countercharge here. So off we crack. So all the shooting, it's loads of shooting really, and I feel it probably should have been a couple more wounds than that, but 9 wounds onto my trolls is super painful. And then Groany Snark didn't do any wounds, so how disappointing, right? It's just terrible, isn't it? Isn't that terrible luck that he's just left a white regiment to just fly off and do what it wants? And if you look at where the white regiment is, it's got the rear of this winglet just in its sights. Ouch. However, the rabble regiment made up for it. Even hindered on 6s and 5s, still did enough wounds and nerve to take out my vampire. So there you go, got rabbled. And my mummies took 4 wounds, and he rolled another 11. Why? Dash 15? I want to say that dash 15. Oh, stop rolling 11s. What a swingy turn dice-wise. Crazy, right? 8 wounds there onto the zombies. I think they survive. 2 wounds onto them. So the spears letting the side down onto the revenants. 7 wounds onto it. Pretty good from the other spears though. Onto the defense 2, aren't they? So into my turn 4. So first thing I do is I decide to ignore the spears for a little bit longer. I don't really care about them. I care far more about Groany Snark. And I move my trolls over and say, come on, let's get a hindered charge into a hindered surge into Groany Snark. I take the rear with the whites into this winglet. That is pain. Right. Counter charge the king. We charge off the hill into these spears. Meaningless because we lose. Well, it doesn't matter. They crush 2 anyway, aren't they? So the thunderous doesn't matter. And both revenants back into these spears. I'm not sure. What do I do with these whites? Do I do anything with them? No. I just leave them there. Super. Good job, me. So we kill. At last, I've killed something. God, it's taken me long enough. We kill this spear horde with the trolls. Putting them. I mean, they're still slap bang on the hill, going to get blown up. So I've healed a bit of wounds, but it's not going to be enough. Up to 9 wounds on those spears, still hanging around. And we just absolutely smash that winglet into tiny shreds with that rear charge. And now he's got whites in his back line that he's going to have to deal with. That's not nice, is it? And you can see over there, I've done 5 wounds with my hindered troll charge into Groany Snark. And I waver him. He has got Jareth's Pendant for Headstrong. So, into turn 5. He's getting tense now. So, Groany... 6 wounds he's on, sorry. I think he does pass his Headstrong. We'll see if they put any wounds on me. We'll see. That's the same thing again. Counter charge into those zombies. So he does a cool thing, which I like. So chariot bases are good for this. Let's just scroll back and see it. So I've got my Necro here who is giving Vicious to these trolls, which is why they did so well. This chariot, of course, he can see him. He's height 5. It's a chariot base, so he simply turns and nimbles around into him. He's hoping he can kill the Necromancer in one, overrun to this Revenant flank. That's a great move. Plus, it puts him within reach of the 2-point token. So really, really solid move. The only problem is it's only a Goblin. It's just rubbish attacks. There's no way he's killing the Necromancer. And there's a white regiment ready to flank you. So, while it's a good move, possibly short-sighted. A little bit hopeful, let's just say. However, it allows the rabble to come into these wounded zombies. Probably going to take them out. I'm not sure what this ruler is showing. It's clearly there to show something. Oh, it's showing the arc of sight. Showing the arc of sight for my whites, isn't it? I wonder why. Interesting. Okay. And so he doesn't charge with the spears. He backs them up. And he backs up these guys as well as far as he can to make sure that my whites are in their flank, not their rear. We're undead. We can search, right? So, but I think he wants to unleash all of his shooting on these guys. Try and take them out so he can claim this token. I know he's moving back as well, probably to reassure these tokens. Maybe. So some shooting comes onto these guys. Only 3 wounds though. Very, very poor. Very, very poor. So these are whizzes. Magua maybe. Is there any the other wing? This is the cool move. So this is another cool move. Obviously, there's 2 tokens down here and here, right? 2 1-point tokens. Wing it, flies off. It's turn 5. Time to go. Right? Can't do anything about that. I'm got long range shooting apart from a teeny tiny bit of lightning bolt. So up to 13 wounds on the trolls now. Very, very painful. Very, very painful. What's that? That's 1 wound. Yeah, and that's him pointing at your trolls. Your trolls are dead. They were here, and now they're not. Yeah. All right. Rubbing it in. So 2 wounds onto the Necro. He's fine. Groany Snark does 4 wounds onto my zombie trolls. Clearly he passes headstrong roll. It's good. It's not enough, but it's good. There's a dial. I obviously found a spare dial. And the rabble kill the zombies and overrun, stopping when they hit the Lich King. Okay, and those spears finish off my other zombies. So, if I don't do something with those trolls, I'm in trouble, right? And we're the same unit strength, spears and trolls, and it's a 2-point token right there. So here's how it looks on my turn. So I crack into my turn 5, and I'm like, right, well, off we crack then. So, we countercharge Groany Snark, going to finish him off. We move the whites just a little bit left, basically, to give me a 1-inch surge from Jarvis here. A backup surge from here because I can see over. We charge both these units into the spears here. Off the hill, doesn't matter because you lose your thunderous. And we take the flank onto this guy here. We run the Lich King behind going, no thanks. It means I will get charged by rabble, but they're rabble, so it doesn't really matter. All to pay for. That is showing something. What's it showing? Just showing the flank. Oh! Wow, I was really rushing. So, 2 wounds? Do I do 2 wounds to him? Seriously? Garbage, man. No way. No way. I think we were maybe rushing. I think we were running slow on time. I'll tell you what happened in this turn. I'm not sure what happened to the king down here, whether he died or not. I think he did die. I want to bet my bottom dollar that he did. I get my surge off. I go into the rear and I take out the Mincer Mob. Moreover, I think I also take out the spears. We'll see that in a minute. I also do kill Groany Snark and turn, meaning that I have this token. So, for Page's turn 6, he moves his rabble up. Don't think he charges me by the look of that. Yeah, so I did kill everything in the middle. This is how it finished up. So obviously the token is here. I'm guarding it with my whites. And I've got some revenants here as well. So I've killed everything else in the middle. These guys are just kind of out of the game. There's no way they can do anything. Wing It flew off down here. Wing It flew off down here. Right, two 1-point tokens. Very nice. 2-point token only being held by 1 unit strength white regiment. I've got this one with my whites here. He's got this one. And I've got this one. So let's just count that up at the top of turn 6. Page has got... Is there one under this Wing It? I'm going to have to scroll back quite a way to see. I apologise for this, but, you know, it's kind of important for the story, do you not feel? I mean, I was there. I could try and remember it with my brain, but we all know that's not going to happen. To keep going back. Perhaps let's sing a song together. Is there a token here? There is. It's right here in the woods. So that's going to be a 1, isn't it? Because those was the zeros over there. Okay, great. I'm glad we found that out together. So that's where that Wing It is going. I'm probably going to fast forward too far now and ruin the story. Gosh darn it. So that was 5. Keep going to 6. Okie dokie. Right, as you were. So, Wing It's down here. So Page has got 1, 1, and 1. So 3 to Page at top of 6. I've got... Wow, it's whether he's within 3 of this. I think he probably is. In which case, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the top of 6. I've got 1, 2, 3, 3. It's 5, 3 at that point. Oh, don't like that. So what's Page going to do? So Magua and the Horde come into my whites. He's going to shoot with his whizzes. Where's his whizzes gone? Are they wandered around here? Maybe they're going to shoot at these guys. Yep. And so he takes out my whites, which is incredibly irritating. So a lot of shooting. They did have some wounds on them, but, you know, some shooting. All of his whizzes shooting here, so that's very, very annoying. I needed that token. Really needed that token. So that's the hindered charge from those rabble. I don't think they did an appreciable amount of wounds, if any. And there was some wounds from the rest of the shooting from the sharp sticks, probably went onto this Revenant regiment. So he didn't kill my whites. They took, by the look of it, I want to say 2 wounds. So that's terrible from all those guys. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. That's now my turn. So we took a charge into Magua with this Revenant regiment. We took a charge into this War Trombone with this Revenant regiment. And the whites here went back into the front of these rabble here. I need to kill them because if I kill Magua, unless I kill Magua and overrun, which is very unlikely with 12 attacks, I have got a little bit drain life coming in as well. This 2-point token goes to... Ah, no, he doesn't anymore. Ha 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 ha. So, 3 unit strength for rabble, right? 1 unit strength for that, and 3 unit strength for that, I want to say, or 2 unit strength for that, whatever, it's equal. 2 unit strength, 2 and 1 and 3, so that cancels this 2 out, because I'm within 3, unless he can shoot it off. We can't, it's turn 6, right? And then I rolled double 1. What did I roll double 1 on? I think I rolled double 1 on Magua, but he only had 2 wounds, so it's irrelevant. But, you know, it still counts. The bitterness still counts. So 2 wounds on Magua and a double 1. We go from 9 to 16 wounds. So it's a good 7 wounds off of my 9 attacks onto that rabble. 16 is enough to kill them, definitely. And then I roll a 3. Is it me complaining about dice again? You bet your bottom dollar it is. Anyway. And then we get turn 7. So let's just check what the score was at the end of that one by looking at the wide shots. So this one doesn't exist anymore. Page has got 1, 2, 3. I have got 2. So where's the other one? The other one is here. I haven't got this one, right? That's no one's as well. Is that all of them? 2, 1, 1. Yep. 2, 1, 1. Yeah, so at the end of turn 6, it's a 3-2 victory to Page. Which is annoying. But there's turn 7, so that's good. In we crack to turn 7. What's Page do? So, he needs to shoot off this regiment, I guess. This rebel can't do anything. This rebel needs to kill these whites. This rebel needs to kill these trolls. and he's timed out by this. But we were timing the game because the other thing about Paige is very famously slow at playing Blessing. He has been working on it. I should give him credit. He has been working on it, and it was really stressing him out, the clock. And as he timed out in terms of our own Paige, we'll play a soft clock, just carry on rolling. So he did a bunch of wounds to my Revenants on the hill from his Sharp 6 and everything up, but not to 10, and then he double won me, which is just, here you go. Goes around, comes around. You go around here with Magra as well, into the flank of my Whites, who he didn't kill. So they went up to, what was that? It was just a small amount of wounds. All the shooting here didn't kill him. And so then my turn 7, very nastily, we countered and flank charged this rabble horde, I want to say, or spear horde, wherever it was. Smashed them into tiny pieces, which means I get the 2. We ignored his rabble and moved my Revenants up to this 1, and we killed his rabble here who hadn't killed, or his Sharp 6 here who hadn't killed my trolls, which turned that 3-2 loss into a very comfortable 2, 4, 5 to 3 victory. So wow, what a great game, and that's the end. So yeah, fantastic game against Paige. Lovely bloke. What a lovely gaming store. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this battle report. Apologies for my usual cack-handed recollection. But in my defense, I was very, very drunk. I wasn't actually that drunk. I had a bit. But yeah, fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I then cracked straight in. We then went to Din. I went to get some dinners. Some dinner. Okay, let's say the word properly. We went to get some dinner at a local Thai restaurant, which was delicious, and they wouldn't let me pay, which is very, very kind of them. And then I came back and played another game against James, who is a guy I'd not met in any way, shape, or form, but he was a really, really nice guy. I really wanted to test his abyss out, so we played a second game. So you get a second Adventures in Singapore battle report coming soon with the same list. I am still playing this really rather good Undead list, which at this point still unbeaten. Let's see how it goes. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me what I did wrong. Please commiserate with Paige's dice and my dice, to be fair, in that last turn, 2s and 1s. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time on Death by Dragons. Bye.